Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your 2017 Tarotscope, as it applies to your sign. Shuffle here and draw a card for your energy throughout this year, the dominant energy. And then we'll proceed. Okay. Five of Pentacles. Well, the immediate thing that comes to my mind on Five of Pentacles has to do with that wandering nature of the Sagittarius, the restless, the not settling in. Okay. We all enjoy the comforts of home, so to speak. And we definitely have an aspect or a responsibility to ourselves to acknowledge that we either accept it or we don't accept it. Okay, how much of it are we turning away for whatever reason? And I do see that's kind of what the first statement here is with the Five of Pentacles as it applies to you right now. Now, as it applies to the year reading here, January, the All Gifted, which is the God card, the full and abundant source card, as this specific to this deck. It talks about all the resource and all the abundance that is there. Okay, and Five of Pentacles. If you've got this sense, if this feeling that you just don't have that security, that place to call home, I guess you call it. A lot of that aspect is because you're not claiming that. You're giving it away or giving it up for something else. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in Sagittarius has that prevalent wandering nature, of course, but to some degree or some aspect that applies. It may not necessarily be your physical residence, your home, per se. It may be in relationships. It may be in jobs. It may be in jumping from this hobby to this hobby to this hobby and never really quite being fulfilled by any of it. Okay, I understand. Hey, there's a whole world out there to explore, right? So, anyways, the All Gifted card, the ultimate source of power and abundance, the resources is at your disposal. And what you choose to do to that, how much of that you choose to claim and accept for your own, how much of your power you step into is entirely your choice and your decision. But and I think the first part of this reading is assuming that responsibility for that. It's one of the first lessons or first things that you'll be made aware of in January, or through the course of January. Of course, too, on this, like I say, there's that choice of what do you value, okay? What is it? Is it more valuable to you for that freedom and to explore and to take in all the world? Okay, there's a quote that comes to my mind, and it's one of my favorites actually. A man asked God for all things that he might enjoy life, but I think the Aquarian, or not the Aquarian, I'm so sorry, the Sagittarian aspect response would appreciate the response. God said, "I gave you life that you might enjoy all things." Well, this enjoy all things is great, but it does come at a cost. You're aware of, I'm sure. You never settle. You don't stop and put roots down. You don't. You can't build anything that way. And if that's if the building is something that you're longing for, then putting some roots down someplace in some fashion is going to be a must. The resource and the energy is all there, and how you use it is up to you. But so that's something you have to come to terms with. I think that's something that's been egging and wearing at you in this. If you look at the card on the Five of Pentacles, I'll try to see if we can see it here. See, go that way. This couple on the card, they're out in the cold, alone. Some could use the word destitute comes to mind. Okay, but if you look at them, they're looking like they're weary and beaten down. They're getting tired. If this is you, then maybe you need to be thinking about the roots and settling on someplace. So, if that's you, if it's not, then carry on. This is not your reading, not that month, anyways. On to February. The Hierophant is a card. Your tradition speaks a lot through this card, and in that we can balk at tradition or we can embrace tradition, and it's up to us. It is entirely our life, and we need to choose, our own path and destination. What are you? Is there something in the history in the tradition that you're running from? Is there a reason that you run from that? Is it you think that settling down and establishing roots will be confining you, like entering a voluntary admission into prison? We'll call it a prison-like state. That it actually takes your freedom away. Well, no, consider that if it's what you choose to do, then you're not actually a prisoner. You've got that opportunity, that option to say that no, I tried this. This isn't what I need. Okay. Stuttering. Sorry. Tradition. Sometimes we balk against our ancestors because we think we've got this better idea and this better way to do it. So we say, no, I'm not going to do that. We say, I watched my dad go to work every day and slave for a dead end job, and he never was able to enjoy anything in life. He spent all of his time for work, and all of his energy was drained there, and he never had anything left. That doesn't have to be you just because that was him. Tradition doesn't necessarily follow in that respect either. So, anyways, this come to terms and look at the reasons why you do what you do, and decide which are the reasons you want to embrace. Which ones are value. Okay. The Hierophant also speaks of the of traditional sense in spirituality and morality and societal or customs and order and whatnot like that. The one of the first things that comes to mind here is as the Hierophant is the Pope, is that religious leader, which is also the officiant at wedding ceremonies and what do you call them, like hand fastings and things of that nature. This doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a full-fledged wedding. It could be simply that commitment to another in settling down in that relationship finally, to be able to put those roots down in that fashion. But of course, you need to find that one who you wouldn't feel confined with, you wouldn't feel collared to, leashed. But the card also does talk about maybe that's something that you need to be considering in that respect, or maybe it's something that somebody else you're already wanting, and somebody else is balking at these traditions and these customs, we'll call it, that they don't want to. So we move to March, and we have the Ace of Wands. This could go a number of ways. Ace of Wands is that spirit, is that fire within inside of you. Depending on so many factors, this could be saying that you need to settle down, or no, this life of freedom and liberty is absolutely for me. And if that's what whichever way that is, embrace that, feel that fire. That's you. You came here to be you, and however that manifests, of course, is exactly what it's supposed to be. Okay, there are lessons to be learned, and they'll be learned regardless, right, of what anybody else's influence is. And one of the big lessons is for us is of course finding out who we are, and living that purpose. Not everybody sets roots. Not everybody wanders and is free. Some people want that tethered aspect of life. It gives them a sense of security in stability. So the moving on from there, Six of Cups. Six of Cups is that nostalgia card. It's the what makes you happy card. It's remembering the sweetness of life. It's that being open and playful and feeling the joy as a child would feel. It's finding the wonder in so many things, which is very much that wandering, exploring, adventurous nature of that drives us, the Sagittarian. This Five of Pentacles aspect of this, the Five of Pentacles has a couple of different meanings. You don't have because you refuse to have, or you're standing at the you're somebody's offering it, but you're not accepting it. And another aspect of the Five of Pentacles is that there's the door. Go up and knock. Open the door, swing it wide, and step on in, whichever be the case. Okay. This what is it that's keeping you from the joy in this of the Six of Cups? Okay. This is the question that you need to ask yourself in this, and find out why that you're not stepping through that door, if that's the case, or if that's the case at all. Like I said, if it's you're on the inside and you're wanting out, okay. Again, ask yourself, why are you staying there? What is it you fear that's on the other side of the door, where that freedom is? If that's what the burning of the Ace of Wands over here is, okay. Number of, these are questions that you need to be asking and looking for yourself, and answering. So nobody else can do that. Somebody may be able to walk you through and talk you through, but the answers are ultimately and fully your own. So, the Six of Swords, what I'm getting from that card right there is there's a kind of an anguish between wanting both, that to be free completely, and also to be, rooted and grounded where you come from. The Six of Swords is kind of talk about it as, we want to go someplace. Okay, that's the boat, the travel in there. We travel over emotions. Okay, the emotions run deep in this. It's upsetting you. It saddens you. In while these six swords are still around here, we need to come to terms with what's going on with this as for this here. Decide all of this. Okay, and through all of this, understand it's yours, and figure out why you choose what you choose here. Okay. Understand that this is because of this right here that burns inside of you. As that burns inside of you, okay, you're wanting of this here. If this isn't here, then we're asking ourselves, why we're withholding. Okay, there are no shackles on these people on the card. It's of their own free will that they stand where they stand, whether that's inside wanting out or outside wanting in. If that's what's wanted, that's keeping the joy from this card here. Okay, all of this is that realization and understanding right here in the Six of Swords that you've got to come to terms with and accept. Okay, and all of this, like I say, causes an anguish inside of you, a sadness, a depression state almost, confined. Okay, sometimes you maybe even feel victimized in this because they don't, the obligations that you feel because of tradition that go completely against what burns inside of you. Okay, and but come to terms with that it is your responsibility, as I said right back here on this. There isn't a lock on the door. You simply open it and walk through whichever way it is, if that's what you're wanting, whichever direction. But get rid of the swords. Throw that baggage and come to terms with that and throw it overboard. And don't sink the boat before you ever get down get across the waters. Before you get to where you want to go. Okay. Eight of Pentacles. Where are we? We're in June now here. The Eight of Pentacles is a card. A lot of these blockages and stuff like that. Okay, I'm sorry. Back up. Eight of Pentacles is the Apprentice card. It's a card of mastery, a card of self-mastery, and as it applies to you, from what I'm getting on this reading, is a lot of it is the internal blockages that you hold. Okay, like I say, whether that becomes from a fear of responsibility of the power that you have to control your life or decide your life, or if it's traditions and the obligation that you feel from in contrast to what you are. Whatever these blockages are, okay, I'm going to mention here to the Ganesha up here is get rid of these blockages. Get rid of whatever this is. Come to terms with, meet it, address it face on, and get to the base and the root of it. Okay, it's another thing about the Sagittarius. Even in addressing a certain problems, okay, this can be an issue as far as the Sagittarius is concerned, is the lack of roots, the not wanting to get to the root of. Okay, there's an issue. I'd rather just go over here. There's no issue here, so we need to get back to this right here, and this is all part of that self-mastery. So let's address the blockages, address what stands in your way of achieving this Six of Cups joy and freedom feeling. Okay, because this is really where it's at. It's that feeling. All of your surroundings can be whatever they are, but it's how you view it, how you come to terms with it, is really where that joy and that freedom is. The freedom is in your ability to choose. So we're going to move on to Three of Pentacles in July. Three of Pentacles in July. It's not all about you. So it's everybody plays their part in this whole thing. And that's one of the things of coming to terms with in that self-mastery part, is assuming the responsibility that we mentioned here, assuming that gaining to the self-mastery part, or the approach of the endeavor for. I can't say that we ever really meet self-mastery, but we certainly hope to move that direction closer to. But it's here. It's realizing everybody plays their part. Everybody contributes to the greater whole. Well, your part is just as important to this as whatever traditions might have been passed down, and that leads you to where you are now. The Three of Pentacles, like I said, is a card that wakes you up to this. And what are you contributing? What are you holding back? What are you running from? What are you facing and addressing head on and coming to terms with? Okay. So following that emotion or that set of energies there, we move into August. August is the Ace of Swords. It's the Ace of Swords. One of the things about that, it's cutting through illusion. It's disillusionment. Disillusionment that of that victim that I mentioned back over here. It's the disillusionment and understanding and coming to full terms. Okay, now self-actualized, self-realization, and pure understanding, as indicated with the Ace of Swords, that your part over here, how much that actually contributes to the happiness and the freedom feeling of the Six of Cups that is, I know, so important to you. Okay, so there's a coming to terms with here. Okay, we move over here to the September and the Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups is he's kind of like the Knight of Cups in other decks. There's extremes of energy, okay, and toiling back and forth in this, but eventually coming to terms with, okay. He's in this particular card. There it is. If you can see that, he's actually the Archer as well, okay. To me, what that's saying is after the understanding and realizing how much you actually contribute to your life by your decisions, your accepting or not accepting of responsibility, coming to terms with all of what we've talked about. Okay, the realizing how much you actually contribute to your life. Okay, that gives you clarity. That gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of focus. Okay, where are you going to shoot your arrow? Okay, you aim for this. You don't miss your mark. If you got something to do, you know you're gonna make your mark. So that's a lot of this Prince of Cups. This Prince of Cups, this hitting your mark is also a huge thing on this. Is the emotional content in this? Okay, it's not going to be an easy thing. Like I said, the Prince is like the Knight. The Knights are extremes of emotion and energies as well. Very down and depressed, or very up and excited and joyful and back and forth. And this is this coming to terms with and realizing how much you contribute. Okay, cutting through that illusion is a very solemn and grounding. Though this is a thought. Okay, our thoughts are so very important that they determine how grounded we're going to be at any point. Okay, the inherent result of this is a very grounded state. A very grounded state, as applied to this card, settles those emotions to be able to give you that focus, to be able to decide what it is that you, or what your target is, and where you're going to go with this. Okay, coming to terms with all of this ultimately comes to setting your mark. Setting your mark. Okay, now we have the Magician. All right, its card number is 1. That's new beginnings. That's about self. That's about you and your decisions and your contribution and standing up for yourself and so much all about self and you. Okay, this is you. But it's also the complete focus, not just the focus and the decision part over here, but the actual materialization, the manifesting of your decision and the focus where you're going to shoot your arrow. What is it that you want to manifest? Is it you want to manifest a relationship? Is it you want to manifest security in your career? Is it you want to manifest security in your residence? What is it that you want to manifest? Is it you want to manifest your ticket to the world? Okay, maybe that comes through materializing stability in your career, or whatever be this case. Okay, this is the Magician. You decide where you're going to draw the energies and focus and manifest. Okay. Once you begin to do this and this materializes, as long as you've done all of the work over through here, okay, you're coming up to this point right here where you actually have that clarity and that focus and that drive and that desire that still burns within. It doesn't go away. It's your soul urge, your soul calling. That doesn't go away. It covers up, gets diminished, but it never goes away. But all of this comes around. Okay, you finally feel that freedom right here, and that happiness and that joy, that jubilee of it is what fans and fuels this spark within you that says, I'm free to let this burn, let this grow, let this manifest right here at the magician. Okay, this realization, this understanding, this actual doing the work and working towards your goals brings about this Ten of Cups aspect in November here. Okay, in November, the Ten of Cups, that's satisfaction, that's fulfillment, that's really feeling at peace and at ease in however this manifests in your own life. Whether that's like it shows on here, the couple coming together with a baby, or whatever this may be. This is your whatever this is that you're manifesting. Ultimately, finally, you can get to that point of that sense of relief, that sense of I can relax, I can breathe, I can enjoy life, and life can enjoy me. Okay. All of this, in turn, just this leads to as you finish the year out, joy, happiness, celebration, gaiety, spending time with others, they're joining in you and they're happy for you as well, even if it means going against your traditions and what everybody else says it should have been. Okay, no matter what that is, but that brings you up here, and there's your 2017 Tarotscope. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it spoke to you. If you have other questions or need to talk about something completely different even, I can be reached at shaspirit.com, and my email is michael@shaspirit.com, and my Facebook is facebook.com/the Shaspirit, which is all one word. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and have a great year.